It always pulls you in. There you go. All right, show in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming to you from the dark recesses of the proverbial Dawn Forge pouch. This is episode 226 of the Shattered Soulstone. Greek goes solo no more. Today's podcast is brought to you by Audible. Get your free audiobook download at bit.ly/Soulstone 2019. Over 180,000 titles to choose from for your iPod, your MP3 player, or Realme phone. Today is September the 2nd. We are super close to the best day of the year, 2019. And I'm your main man, Deadgreed. Today, I brought like one of my second favorite type people coming to you from a leaderboard high in the sky. It's Shazam.
What's going on?
Not much, bro. How you been, man?
Been doing all right. Can't complain.
Nice, bro. Nice. Well, how's your weekend gaming?
Last week on the show, I said I wanted to get to Paragon 1,000 by the end of the week, maybe 1,100 by the show or whatever. I didn't get to 1,000 till like, I don't know, noon on Saturday. And then I got to 10:50 that night. And then I ground out a whole bunch of keys. And Sunday morning we were all talking in Discord and stuff. And I had like 80 keys, and I'm like, I probably need a little bit more. So I rounded it out to an even 100. And then today, that's all I did was like smash greater riffs like the entire day. I did like 70 some greater riffs. And I got 50 Paragon. I'm 1,102 now since I did two greater riffs with the monk right before the show. So that's why I'm 1,102 now. So hopefully I can get to like 1,200 or something by the show next week. And I will hit Paragon 2,000 by the end of this season. I have the most amount of drive I've ever had playing this game. And I was thinking today, I'm like I mostly got like all the good gear on my monk. Like mostly I could use a better pair of boots. I could use a better helmet. But other than that, everything is like pretty freaking good. So I don't know where I go from here this season. I'm obviously gonna keep going up with the monk. I need to augment the rest of his stuff, which I'm probably gonna augment with the hundreds or higher. I think I augmented either 4 or 6 pieces of his gear with 95s. I have, and this may boggle your mind, I know, because you have like no augmenting gems, but I have 8 more augmenting gems at level 80 just sitting there. So I've done, I think I've done like 619 or something greater riffs this season. So like all them gem levels got to go somewhere. So yeah, that's why I made a whole bunch of gem eases at the beginning of the season, because I'm going to use every single one of them. But I thought about making a Crusader again. Thought about doing a lot of stuff to see, how many different characters I can have on the leaderboard at one point in time. But I don't know. I'll just keep pushing with the monk for now and see what happens. I got 2 pieces of ears gear, just for the hell of it, just because it dropped on my demon hunter. I'm like, I should start saving this stuff just in case.
Hey, I ended up with a GG perfect roll, Chantoto's, whatever the heck that thing is called, Ancient.
Wow.
Yeah, I was like, it rolled so good. I thought about rolling a wizard. I was like, I mean, you know how it is, bro.
So I know you guys are gonna hear this in the future, but tomorrow I need to stream. Thursday I need to stream. Um, but I'm gonna pound out greater rifts. I'm gonna try my ass off to go as high as I possibly can. Yeah, I think before I went to bed last night, I think I did I want to say 12 puzzle rings by myself.
Whew.
Just to get rid of them out of my stash. And
there's a blacksmith right over there, right near the stash.
And magically today, like 9 more appeared. I'm like, it's ridiculous, you know. I got 9 regular puzzle rings. Now I have 4 ancient puzzle rings that's just sitting in my stash. I haven't used yet, so we need to do them at some point in time. Yeah, the monk is going. That is a really fun class to play. Legacy of Dreams, Legacy of Nightmares, whatever the hell you guys want to call it. Wave of Light Monk is a pretty good monk. I got the idea. Well, I didn't get the idea, but that's what Wolf Crier always runs, and I figured, you know, it's good enough for him. It's good enough for me. I don't play. Like I said before this season started, I had 45 hours played on a monk, so it's a pretty new to the class. And what was I 136 on the leaderboard softcore right before the beginning of this show? So I'm doing all right so far.
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah, just get all my augments and stuff, and I could probably do a 105. That 104 is a pretty crap rift. I could probably do a 105, maybe 106, get the top 100. But yeah, just keep pounding out Paragon and keep pounding on augment and gems and just see what the hell I can do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, get it, brother, get it.
That's about it for me. Demon Hunter's basically gone nowhere. I haven't gotten any pieces of gear for her. No ancients dropped. No ancients from Kadala. Nothing. So yeah, that's where she's sitting at right now.
So I started the week off. I think it was I don't know, Monday. I got home and I was playing and I think I was like 140 paragon or some shit like that because I was playing all solo and I was trying to do a T10 and it took me like forever, for like 30 minutes. I was dying and dying and dying and dying. You know, just and I'm running Zumasi set and I just getting waxed. And well, I don't know. I was mad, so I logged off and then I went to bed. And I woke up at like 3:30 in the morning and I couldn't sleep no more. So I came back into my office and started a Crusader I was so mad. I rolled a Crusader, bro. I was like, F it, I'm playing Crusader. Rah! So I rolled my Crusader to 70, went to work, came back, and I got on Discord and I was messing with my Crusader, and I was like 69 or something like that. I was real close to 70. And so I'm messing around, and Rona and one of his friends were both playing Sumasi Witch Doctors. And they're talking about Witch Doctor this, Witch Doctor that. And they sucked me right back into it. And so I get on the Witch Doctor, and it's like Rona, one of his friends, and King Tut, and they're all having a great time. And I was like, you know what? I don't know why the heck I'm doing this to myself. It's because, man, playing in a group is so much better. So I got an invite, and we ran, and I got a ton of gear, and I got pretty serious with the Witch Doctor again. Started smashing. I ended up getting enough gear to set up my Legacy of Dreams Carnevil Dagger of Dart build. Yeah, I know. But anyway, yeah, it's I just ended up setting it up today, and it is. Oh my god! Oh yeah, I forgot Fury, also in there too. I don't know what to call these things anymore because there's so many different like ways to build this. So people have, I don't know, these long names now, like Legacy of Dream, Carnevil, Dagger of Dart, Fury with dogs. It's like you almost gotta name every piece of your gear now. Anyway, I'll call it a Legacy of Dreams Carnevil twist build. And anyway, so I set it all up, and I'm full ancient. I don't no augments yet. Although that's not true. I did augment my pants, and I'm going to talk to you about a stash tab thing here in a minute. But I augmented my pants with a 50 just to get the you have to augment with a 50, right? Or a 50 or higher. But anyway, and today I smashed a 77. So solo, I think it was 77. Anyway, that it's just the Legacy of Dreams is just so much better than the Zumasi. I don't know what it is. Like I really couldn't get the Zumasi Witch Doctor to do what I wanted to do. I don't know. I couldn't get it. I don't know why. Anyway, I did a 79 solo. So anyway, I did a 79 so far, and I'm 646 on Paragon, which is awesome because last show I think I was like 140 or something like that. So that's a great improvement. Every piece of my gear is now ancient, and I am now leveling my 3 main gems. And for some reason, I had it in my head that I didn't have to do the season journey this time. And then it turned out I didn't have to do it anyway. Because I did it, and I didn't get anything out of it. We're supposed to get stash tabs. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
I did not get a stash tab. And I even went to non-season and checked. I did not have an extra stash tab. So what's up with that? Did you get an extra one?
I didn't do the season journey yet.
Well, I can tell you, before the season journey, and I'm gonna log in just to make 100% sure because before the season journey, before I did the season journey, I have the same number of freaking stash tabs, and I could have swore that did they not put out a thing that said that we were gonna earn extra stash tabs?
We should. We got what? 4 more coming, I think, right?
Yeah, okay, but you got 5 on the first chest, 5 on the second, which is 10, and then I have 3. This is the second season that we should have gotten a stash tab. So I should have 5 on the third. But I only have 3 and I don't have an option to buy any more down here. And I know for a fact, was it last season, when they put that quality of life out, they said we could earn up to 5 more. So.
Yeah, we earned one of them last season.
Yeah, but I've always had 13. I still have 13 now. If I log on to my non-season, I'll have 13. So I didn't get my stash tab. So anyway, I don't know. I really wasn't excited about the season journey this time. And usually I'm pretty jazzed up about doing it. I mean, you've known me for a while. I'm pretty jazzed up about doing it normally. But it was the same stuff I've already gotten. The portrait frame, all the rewards were exactly what I already had all those rewards. So I mean, I don't know. Anyway, it's just a thing, right? Like I don't know. Yeah, if you can get one. So anyway, yeah, that's how So I ended up rolling a Crusader and not even doing anything with him. Literally, I leveled him to 70, and then he still got a bunch of like level 40 gear on or something. Doesn't even have level 70 gear because I went right to the Witch Doctor. Well, anyway, so that was my week, and something that they used to do quite often, or not quite often, every now and again. And some of our listeners were like, "Man, y'all guys never do build breakdowns." So I thought, you know what? We'll do a build breakdown this go round. So something different, something we don't normally do, build breakdown. And I don't know, I'm playing the Witch Doctor. So I figured I'd do Witch Doctor. And what better thing to do than the Carnevil Legacy of Dreams Fury with dogs and soul stack. I don't know what else you want to call this stupid thing. It's the Legacy of Dreams Carnevil Witch Doctor.
Why can't they just get it like easy like a monk? It's 6 letters. LODWOL.
Yeah.
Easy.
I named mine in my armory. I literally named it Lon Karn. Or Lod Karn. LOD Karn. I don't know. But like if you look the build up, if you look up Legacy of Dreams Witch Doctor, there's like 8 different variants. It's quite wild because some people don't like using the Fury, which if you're not using the Fury, I think you're insane. Some people don't want to lose their ability to have 10 Soul Harvest stacks, which anyway. So anyway, build breakdown. Woohoo! Legacy of Dreams Carnevil. So basically, the gear you're gonna have to have is you're gonna have to have this special new Legacy of Dreams gem. And what does it do? It does the same thing the Legacy of Nightmares rings do, but minus the rings and plus a freaking gem, right? So basically, you get the gem, you level it up, and you get some added damage for any piece of gear you have that's legendary, and then it doubles for ancients or primals. So basically, it's the exact same buff as the Legacy of Nightmares rings. So that's one thing you have to have. Well, the other two things you have to have, as far as the gems go, is you have to have a simplistic strength, and basically it just does increases the primary damage of what your primary skills, your damage of your primary skills, which is important because we're using poison darts, spine dart. So you're going to buff that with the simplistic strength. You want it as high as possible because it gives you a bunch. This also gives you the 25 ability, also gives you a heal, 4% of your maximum health. So that means you need to be rolling plus life percent on your gear where you can get it. I wouldn't sacrifice like a crit hit or something like that. But if you can get percent life and raise that life up, and if you can afford a little bit of paragon into the vitality, that will help your healing. Anyway, the third gem you need would be the enforcer. Just increases your pet damage by a bunch, and it gives your pets they take less damage, which is weird because your pets can't die anyway. But okay, they take less damage even though they can't die. I'm not sure what that's about. So anyway, the two weapons you need would be the Echoing Fury, which what is that? That gives you a buff. Every time you kill an enemy, it gives you a frenzy, which gives you a ton of attack speed. When you have 5 stacks, and you'll get like a little buff in your little buff area down here. When you have 5 stacks, that's 75% increased attack speed, which puts you at attack speed cap, which is important because that means that you can mitigate other things you would normally put attack speed on. Like, for example, your gloves you would normally want crit attack speed, but now you could pick up like crit and maybe life per hit, or maybe some life percentage to get your healing up, or you could even go with some area damage because this is heavy in area damage. The second weapon you need is the dagger of darts, which is going to allow you and your fetishes to shoot you and your fetishes that shoot darts, your darts now pierce, which is important because you're not just hitting one enemy, you're hitting all the way through the screen. So you can kind of like line up your character and, shoot more than one at a time. And it also increases your damage by up to a maximum of 500% for your poison darts. So those are the two weapons you need. You need to cube one and you need to wear one. I personally would recommend wearing the Fury and cubing the dagger darts, because if you cube the dagger darts, you automatically get the 500%. That's super important, and you always get the maximum effect for the Fury because it's just a regular flat buff. Okay, now that you know what weapon, the helmet you have to wear would be a Carnevil or a Mask of Jerum. Again, the same situation here. The Mask of Jerum, its pet damage increased by 200%. This is super important because this is a really pet-heavy build. I always cube my Mask of Jerum, again, because of that 200%. The only thing that's a little annoying is the Carnevil hardly never rolls with a socket. So you can get stuck with some pretty not good stats on your Carnevil helmet. I kind of work around it. On mine, I have mana regeneration by 13 per second, which is hilarious because I don't use mana, but I got crit on it. I'm happy. I got int crit. It's okay. It's one of those things that's like I'm looking for a better helmet, but what are you gonna do, right? Well, anyway, to finish off your cube, there are several things you can do for your jewelry slot. You can run the flavor of time, which is what I'm doing now, or you could run a unity for, which is good. The unity could be good. I like having the flavor of time for the pylon effects last twice as long. That's really cool. That's a new item this season. When I was dying a bunch, I did change that to unity. Of course, you got to have a unity on your follower, and a follower can't die token. That's a thing, right? Got to have that. But you can also run a Scorch necklace if you're a dodging ninja, as Big Daddy Den always says, because if you take damage, it's over. And it can be hard to recover from a death on a witch doctor, and we'll talk about that in a second. But I like the flavor of time. This is pick your poison here, whichever you like. Also, same kind of thing on your necklace. I like having a Hellfire for the extra passive, although my passive is garbage right now because I need to do more. Just haven't got around to it. So anyway, I like Hellfire. You could run a Squirts. You could run a Squirts and a Flavor of Time combination, or you could run a Squirts and a Unity. Pick your poison there. You could run a lot of different necklaces. Anyway, I like the Hellfire. Your bracers, I like the Lucumba's ornaments, but you could forgo that and pick up the Nemesis bracers. But if you drop the Lucumba's ornaments, then your Soul Harvest is going to be not as good. And it's not, you need it because the Lucumba's ornaments give you a 6% reduced damage taken per stack of Soul Harvest, which is, you can get 5 in this because I don't have the weapon. So with 5 stacks of Soul Harvest, that's 30% damage reduction, which is important. Anybody that plays with me knows that I die a lot, and it pisses me off. So I'm like, Argh! Anyway, that's an important piece. If you're going high, I would recommend the Lucumbas over the Nemesis. Anyway, jewelry, you have a lot of options. Convention of Elements, Unity. I'm wearing a short man's finger right this second, but I wouldn't recommend that because it buffs your gargantuans, and I don't have gargantuans. But it's ancient, and it's a LOD build, so ancients are important. I would rather have a Unity. So, anyway, lots of different options there. Offhand is another thing that's there's quite a bit of options. You could run the Eucarpian Serpent, which hopefully I said that right. Jesus Christ. You could definitely run that, or you could run blah blah blah. You could run the Frog, the Thing of the Deep, for massive pickup radius, which would help you pick up globes. And if you run that, then I would run like Gruesome Feast because it gives you more intel, blah, blah, blah. You could run a Homunculus, and you could do a Sacrifice Dogs, like Provoke the Pack type thing. But I wouldn't recommend that because you're already managing like stacks and some other things. You could run a Zumasi String of Skulls. And yes, I did say Zumasi String of Skulls, even though this is an LOD build. If you have one piece, it's not going to give you a bonus, so it's not going to take away your LOD damage. And the reason why a lot of people run this is because it rolls really good with like critical hit chance fetish army damage and damage to elites, which is, super good. You could run a Henry's Requisition, but I've never been a big fan of that. That's the cat. And like the first time an enemy deals damage, you get some damage reduction. So, I've never been a big fan of that one. A lot of people like it. If I wasn't running Eucryptic Serpent, I would definitely go with the String of Skulls. The boots, you need illusionary boots. There is no replacement for that. You have to be able to get out. Because if you get trapped, you're going to die. And you're going to die a lot. Pants, Depth Diggers, you can't get around that. The Depth Diggers give you primary skills, generate 100%, up to 100% additional damage. If your primary skills generate resources, which is the reason why you're going to run Poison Dart, Spine Darts, because it's going to give you mana back, which then will proc your Depth Diggers. The belt, you could run a couple of different belts. You could run a Witching Hour, or you could run a Belt of Transcendence. I always mess the name up. Yeah, anyway, you could run that. I would recommend the Witching Hour. Although the reason why we traditionally run the Witching Hour is because it always runs with attack speed. And, your attack speed capped, so you could drop that and you could pick up, you could pick up the Transcendence, which would save you a passive, and that's important. I might have to look into that. I don't have a good belt, though. Anyway, Witch Doctor, Witching Hour, or Transcendence. I'm actually leaning towards the Transcendence because you could still get Poison Dart damage and you could get a life percent. Yeah. Anyway, the chest, non-negotiable. You need a Clearest Calaris. If you're above your 90% primary resource, all your damage is reduced by 50%, which is all the time in this build. You do not use mana. So that's just a huge damage mitigation that you definitely need. Shoulders, there's a couple of different options, although the best in slot is definitely Pauldrons of Skeleton King, which gives you basically a free self-res. You could run... Oh, geez, what was I was thinking about it earlier. You could run pretty much any shoulders that have good stats. I ran the last season. I ran the town portals. I like town portals because, if you do bounties or whatever, you always get your port back to town without getting. It's like an annoyance thing, right? But definitely the Pauldron of Skeleton King is definitely best in slot. Gloves is another thing. Literally, you could wear any gloves in the game as long as you don't pick up some sort of 2-piece bonus. Like you could wear Helltooth gloves, you could wear Zuni gloves, I'm wearing St. Archer's Gauge. I like those a lot because it gives you, when you get hit by an elite pack, it gives you like a big absorb shield. So it's kind of like a little bit more damage mitigation. Those are my favorite ones to wear. Last season, I had a primal, and I'm blanking on the name. It's the one that gives you the massacre bonus for the gloves.
Gladiator Gauntlets.
Yeah, thank you. Gladiator Gauntlets. And the reason why is because they rolled super good. It's more about the stats here, and basically you want crit, and I would say crit attack speed, but the Fury takes care of the attack speed. So crit and maybe life, percent life, or maybe crit area damage, because you do need to slot some area damage into your build. I think that's all the gear. Yep. Talked about weapons, rings, belts, necklaces. Yes, so that's the gear. that you're going to need. So basically, um, how I like to set it up is I like to put my poison dart on my left click, poison dart, spine dart. And again, that's you're going to run the spine dart because it's going to proc your pants and it's going to give you mana back. So that's going to keep your Acrylicolaris procced. You're going to run Pronado, or Pranas. I always call him Pronado because it's the only skill. No one uses any other skill than Pronado. If you're running Piranhas, literally I just call it Pronado. Anyway, that's your grouping. Really important because this is a very area damage heavy build. So you want to get in there and group them up. Also, you can use the strategy of grouping a giant pack of enemies together, and they're controlled so they don't do any damage to you. So you can run in and soul harvest and then run out. So that's a good way to get soul harvest stacks, like if you're running low or whatever. On my number 1, I run the Spirit Walk Jaunt. A lot of people run Severance, but Severance is like more of a speed thing where you can get in between enemy packs like faster. And for me, I like the Jaunt because, again, it's a damage mitigation thing. You get 3 seconds of where you can't take damage. You're in the spirit realm, like Young Guns, and you can't take damage. So I use it more as a defensive thing. Like, if you're in the middle of a big pack and they're fat guys and they're about to blow up, I'll pop my Spirit Walk and Jaunt and run out, and so that way I don't get hit and get one shot. The next thing I have is Soul Harvest Languish. It's a must have for this build. Without it, you will die. You will without this. The Languish just gives you a massive armor increase and also increases your intel, which again gives you more damage mitigation because as an intel class, the more intel you have, the more all resist. So again, it's a damage mitigation thing. You have to have it. There's no way around it. The next thing I like to run is Horrify Frightening Aspect. Again, 50% increased armor for 8 seconds after casting Horrify. I number lock this, and it is never down. So you always have a 50% armor. Because I am running the Eucripiate Serpent, I am also running Summon Zombie Dogs, Lifelink. Basically, they're absorbing 10% extra damage. Along with the Eucripiate Serpent, they're absorbing 30% of my damage. So basically, it's 40% or whatever the math works out to be, because I know that 10 plus 30 in the Diablo world does not actually equal 40. But you get the idea. It's more damage mitigation. And, they kind of tank, and you can get behind them. Like if you're in an area where you're going to take balls to the face, you can get behind your dogs, and you can also get behind your fetishes, because your fetishes and your dogs will block, like archers or any ranged attacks. Really, it's really good for that. And they can't die, and they take 90% less damage anyway. So let them take it to the face like Ritzy. But Ritzy hasn't been playing with me, so I'm literally have to run with dogs. So if you don't play with Ritzy, just run the dogs. For your passives, of course, you're going to have the Hellfire, and you're going to want a better passive than I have. I have Circle of Life. It's not good. I'm not even utilizing that. What I recommend is Swampland Attunement. Very important. The more enemies you have around you, the more all res you have. So you definitely have to have that. I would definitely recommend Fetish Scopiance. Unless you're wearing the belt of Transcendence, And that's what I was talking about earlier. Um, if you're running the belt, this does the same thing that the belt does. It's just when you shoot with the skill, it gives you a chance to get fetishes. You can have up to 15. 10 of those 15 will shoot poison darts with you. That's the whole thing behind the it's the whole thing behind the build, is to have the fetishes shooting darts with you. It's the whole part of the build. The next thing you need is Engraved Justice. You can't get around it. So basically, it's just a massive cooldown reduction. When you hit with your pets or you will get 1% taken. You get 1 second taken off of your when enemies die within 20 yards of you. So you got to kind of be close with this, which it goes good with the Swampland Attunement. So you get up close, you kill stuff, you get reduced. And I know you're looking at your skills going, gee, I got Spirit Walk and Soul Harvest and Horrify and Dogs and Piranhas, but, and Poison Darts, what's getting cooled down? Well, the big thing, Piranado takes 16 seconds. And the more that's up, the more you can put it on the ground and the more you can suck enemies in towards you and the less damage they do to you because they're in the Piranado. Also, your Soul Harvest cools down. It's a 12-second cooldown. And I know 12 seconds ain't a long time. But it just makes it easier to keep your Soul Harvests up. The next thing I run is Confidence Ritual. It's basically... if you're within 20 yards again, if you're within 20 yards of the enemy, then you get a 25% increased damage bonus. The Confidence Ritual and the Grave Injustice are affected by your gold pickup radius. So if you got gold pickup radius like the Frog, it gives you 20 pickup radius, so that would actually be 40 yards, and so would Grave Injustice. So that widens your area up. The other thing I like to have is Pierce the Veil, which basically gives you a 20% increased flat damage, but increases your mana cost. But again, we don't have anything that's going to cost mana. But I have I don't have a good Hellfire. So other possible options, if you don't let's say you're not running Fetish Scorpions because you have the belt, you could run a Spirit Vessel, which is our cheat death. Although, to tell you the truth, I wouldn't run the Spirit Vessel, even though you know how many times I die. And I know that you're looking at me going, what? Why wouldn't you do that? Because there's so many better passives, like Gruesome Feast, which if you have the Frog and you got that big, you got that big pickup radius, Gruesome Feast, you get a ton of intel. It stacks up to 5 times, so you could have 50% increased intelligence, which would be a lot, and that gives you another damage mitigation boost because of all resist. You could run that. You could run the Midnight Feast, which I do like. It gives you an additional dog and increases your dog damage by 50%. But dogs aren't really damaging that much anyway. So I think I'd rather do the Gruesome Feast. Anyway, there's other contenders like Zombie Handler, which basically gives you another dog, and it gives you more life, which in return would then give you more healing from your poison dart. So there's a few things to consider. But anyway, so the basic way I play this is you open up a rift or whatever you're doing, and I number lock my Horrify, which will give me the 50% increased armor. I keep saying damage. I don't know why, but anyway, gives you more armor. I immediately pop my dogs so that they can start tanking for me, and then I start moving into the rift. And as soon as I see enemies, I hit the Piranado, group them together. I pop my Spirit Walk, run in, and hit the soul harvest, so that way my damage mitigation is up. And then I just start clearing, and from there it's super important to keep your soul harvest up and just murder stuff with your darts and let your pets just annihilate everything. It's a super powerful build. So anyway, that's the build, and that's the good build breakdown. I don't know if you have anything else to add, Shazam.
Nah, I don't play Witch Doctor.
Yeah, I know, bro. I did Witch Doctor on the build breakdown because that's the one I know the best.
Yeah.
I don't know. But anyway, some guys wanted us to bring that back, and maybe every now and then we'll do a build breakdown. Maybe I'll let Shazam do a how to play that monk thingy. Or I don't know, monks are weird. They like kick and jump all over the screen. I don't know what they're doing. They do. They're like the kung fu master of Diablo.
Yeah.
But yeah, if y'all guys just are dying to find out about a build, I don't know, send us one of those emails. And if you're sending us email, send us some money. Now I know what you're thinking, like, what the hell do I send Greed and Shazam money? Well, it's pretty easy. We got a Patreon. You can go to Patreon/Soulstone and you can give us money. Now, if you're on the Patreon and you give us enough money, then we have an extra show just specifically just for Patreon listeners called Storytime with Greed and Shazam. We have episode 1 out right now, and we are going to record episode 2, so there's going to be 2. There's going to be twice the number of episodes coming up soon. And those episodes are probably going to be about once a month. The last episode I was very happy with, and several people told me they really liked it. So, good job, Greed and Shazam, I guess. Shazam, man, I'm going to let you talk about Jen's Lore Corner, because I've been talking for like 40 minutes straight, and I need a drink, yo.
Yeah. Jen's Lore Corner, you can find it at bookofjen.net. She has a podcast that goes over stuff dealing with the backstory of Diablo. Trying to find it. She just released an episode on September 2nd, which is what, today?
Today, yeah, I got a new episode.
Yeah. It's Taphamet and the Burning Hells. So yeah, you can find that episode and all of our other episodes on bookofjen.net. And yeah, they're short episodes. They're about, I don't know, 10 to 15 minutes. And they teach you stuff that you didn't know before that.
Nice.
So, yeah.
All right, let's see. What are we missing, brother? We did Weeks in Gaming. We talked about our friends. We did the Patreon bump. There was no Blue Notes, huh?
No, other than I wanted to talk about not a Diablo thing, but a Blizzard thing in general.
Ah, there you
go. World of Warcraft has taken over Twitch in a very big way. On Monday, there was over 1 million people watching WoW Classic, and it's been somewhere in the 300,000 range since then. And currently, right now, it's at about 138,000 people watching WoW Classic. Still number 1 on Twitch. And yeah, I think J. Allen Brack is basically eating his words for the most part right now. saying you think you know what you want, but you don't. So, yeah, WoW Classic, most popular game, most popular game in the world right now. So
You know, the thing about that is like over the years, people have been asking Blizzard to release WoW Classic, and they just keep telling us, "Hey, it's not good as you think. It's just not as good as you think." And people had private servers, and I mean, I think on that one private server they had like 300,000 people. So, you know, it's like I don't think that they anticipated how big it is because I'm sure the people that were playing on that private server, they're probably playing WoW Classic, and a lot of people that don't want to play on a private server. I mean, I wouldn't play on a private server, but I might play WoW Classic. It's a sanctioned Blizzard property. Um, yeah, I thought about running a hunter. I thought about it, but I don't know. I'm kind of getting my hunter on through my Carnevil, Dagger of Darts, Fury, with dogs. I'm kind of getting my hunter groove. Although I was a big mage guy in World of Warcraft, so that's a thing. My son's playing Classic, and that was very tempting because he was trying to get me to play, and I literally was gonna log on to WoW Classic today, and I walked into my son's bedroom, and they were playing, and they had like a spot open for a person. I think you can run 5 people. They had 4, and I thought, ooh, I can join that group and run with them, blah blah blah. And I haven't played WoW with my son in a long time. We used to play together all the time. And I looked at my son's screen, and I was like, "How long y'all been playing?" He was like, "Oh, this is our 3rd day, Dad." And I was like, "Why are you level 5? I'm not playing with you guys." Man, never mind. So I just came back and played Diablo. And it's a good thing I did because I got a lot of gear today and I progressed my Carnevil LOD build. So
the private server people, apparently Method and all the other people weren't taking WoW Classic seriously for the raid. The private server people were world first, taking down what the hell's his name? Um, what the hell's the raid? I can't think of the fucker's name now.
well, I mean, did they even have raids yet?
Yeah, the first raid's out.
They've already beat the first raid?
Yeah, yeah. The fire guy. I can't think of his
Oh,
name.
Ragnaros?
Yeah,
Damn, for real?
yeah. Private server people already taking them down.
Damn. See, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think they did
Wow.
it in like day 3 or day 4. Yeah.
Damn.
I guess Quinn is gonna do the raid here in maybe a couple hours. It's probably
Oh, really?
while we're sleeping. He's gonna be.
I was gonna say I'd like to watch, but man, I gotta get in bed because I gotta get up at 4, so that sucks. I can't watch it.
He went to go take a nap because he's streaming for, like I said earlier, 35 hours to hit level 60.
Jesus. But I thought in order to raid, I thought you had to have a D2 set. Is
I don't
that
know.
not a thing anymore?
I don't know. You don't have to have level 60 people. I think the private server people only had like 26 people or something like that. And half of them weren't even level 60.
Uh, wow.
Yeah.
Because that's a 40-man raid.
Yeah. Or only 26 of them were maybe 60. I don't know.
So is Encourage a thing yet?
Not yet.
Man, you know more about this than I do. This is crazy.
Nax Ramus is one of the things that they're going to open, and obviously Encourage and some other one. There's like 4 different
Yeah, the raid should be
updates to this thing.
the raid should be I want to say Ragnaros Fire, not Firelands, is it?
No.
I don't know. Anyway, I don't know what the place is called now because Firelands is a thing, but that's a Cataclysm thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever that raid is with Ragnaros, right? Sorry, I haven't wowed in a long time, people. The next one in progression should be Nax Ramus.
Yeah.
And then after that should be Encourage 20, Encourage 40, and then Onyxia.
Yeah.
That should be the 5 classic raids, right? And then, of course, the world bosses, right? That's a thing. There's 3 world bosses?
I don't know.
2 or 3. So that's a thing. Although if they're getting raid gear already, I guess the world bosses, I guess they're not doing that. But the first people that open the gates of AQ, I think it's 40, AQ 40, will get that black pet, the first person that opens them. So that's a thing, I guess. I don't know. I'm not actually interested in raiding. I am interested in playing somewhat. Maybe when the season gets a little long, you know how it always, a couple months in, we kind of get, maybe I'll play a little bit. I don't know, because that's going to be a hard show between No Man's Sky and WoW Class. I have too many games, dang it. I don't have enough time. Ridiculous. That's another big thing for me about WoW is I don't have the time I used to. Because when I was playing WoW before, I worked 14 days on, 14 days off, and my 14 days off, I'd come home and sleep for a day and a half, and then after I got up, and I literally would sleep for a day and a half. I mean, I'd sleep, get up, eat, and go back to sleep, and shower, whatever. But yeah, I'd sleep for like a day and a half. Then after that, I'd play, and I'd play all day, every day, except for if I had whatever to do, if I had to mow the grass or whatever. But I'd basically play 10, 12 hours a day. I don't have that kind of time anymore, brother. I just don't have it. I work so much now, it's ridiculous. But yeah, that's WoW Classic, man. It's out. And I don't know. The thing that kind of irks me just a bit on the WoW Classic is you have to have a World of Warcraft subscription. And I don't currently have one, and I don't know if I want to pay one.
Yeah.
Anyway. What else you got, brother?
That's basically it.
All right. You want to do other media?
Yeah. Basically, I don't know. I've been just having a bit of nostalgia, and I just want to go back to the 90s, I guess. After South Park, watching a bunch of them episodes. Like I have like every season of this show on a hard drive that's sitting right here. That's hooked to this computer. It's hooked to the internet. Blah blah blah. I downloaded it illegally. You can't get it legally because like all the music and stuff is now copyrighted and all this BS. So it's never going to be on TV again, which is kind of ridiculous. But when I was a kid or early teens, Jim Carrey and like all them people got their start on a TV show called In Living Color. And God, is that TV show so awesome. Like, it was awesome back in the day. It is still awesome today. And Hulu has it's basically just skits of In Living Color. They got like a whole bunch of them. You could just watch every skit that they got, and it is they would not get away with that on TV today. I'll tell you that.
Fire Marshal Bill.
Yeah.
The dude was all burnt up.
I wish Jim Carrey, before he retired or something, would just make a Fire Marshal Bill movie. To me, that would be awesome.
I don't think that guy's retired.
No, like I said, before he retires.
Oh,
make a Fire Marshal Bill movie. That would be.
Yeah, that would be pretty. Yeah, that would be pretty good. Was the racist black KKK member, the blind black KKK member, was that the Chappelle Show, or was that In Living Color? That might have been the Chappelle Show, right?
Yeah, it was the Chappelle Show, yeah.
It was a black guy who was a white supremacist, but he was blind. Chappelle. Ooh, oh, by the way, Chappelle's got a new special.
I seen that.
Anyway.
That's basically all I've been watching. I don't know. Other than playing D3 and streaming, that's basically all the time I have other than work. Hitting shows every now and then.
The thing that sucks about my crappy internet is I can't watch you stream. It sucks. I tried to when you were doing the level with the cause, I tried to watch you, but my witch doctor wouldn't shoot darts. I was like, what the heck? He's just like. And then all of a sudden your witch doctor runs across the screen and you're like, shit, now you're dead. So I had to kill it. Which I like putting on some Twitch in the background, just listening to Big Daddy Dan or whoever.
Yeah.
But I haven't done it in a long time because my internet's been jacked to the 9. One of these years I'll get it fixed. I don't know. Hopefully soon, TM. Well, anyway, other media for me. I did it, bro. I got into the House of Cards. Dude, that show is better than I remembered. You know how some shows you gotta watch 2 or 3 episodes and then you're like, oh, now I'm into this. This is right from the jump. It's so good. Lord, you gotta watch that, man. You gotta start that. I know you're into your In Living Color and 90s beat, but even if you're not into politics, and it's not current. It's not actually politics. It's a political thing, but it's not it's all made up stuff. You know what I mean? Kevin Spacey is a congressman, and yeah, he's the majority. He's the majority whip, and yeah, it's a pretty good look at how that stuff kind of works a little bit. I don't know. Anyway, it's an all. I like the way it's written, and of course, Kevin Spacey's a freaking ridiculous, really really good actor. And I know people. He got in trouble. He's still in trouble and probably gonna go to jail. I don't know. He got fired from the show, but I am watching it. It's still on Netflix, and it is a good show. So, I don't know. If you don't like House of Cards because Kevin Spacey did the touchy-touchy, sorry. But he is a good actor. And, but yeah, I've just been watching House of Cards, and it's, you should check it out, brother. It's good. But anyway, I'll tell our listeners, send us emails and money, and you know how to do that because you're cool people who can internet and jump on Discord. We had 2 people join Discord here lately, and so there's more. There's even more of us to BS with. And anyway, I'll just I'll wave goodbye at our lovely, lovely listeners, and I'll tell everybody thank you very much for listening. And Shazam, you can close the show.
You've been listening to episode 226 of the Shattered Soulstone, your Diablo community podcast. Missed an episode, you can find the show's blog and listen to the show archives at www.theshatteredsoulstone.com. With your support, you can help the show grow. Become a Patreon today. Patreon.com/Soulstone. Come join us in-game or in-game community and clan, both named Shattered Soulstone. We're open to anyone who would like to join. You can also join us on Discord for the ultimate team and community-based experience. Find the Discord invitation link on our Twitter, as well as our Facebook page and the Shattered Soulstone website. The show is powered by you, the listener. Send your contributions, thoughts, questions, and feedback to show at shatteredsoulstone.com. We love Twitter. Come join and tweet with us. You can find the show's Twitter at @ShatteredStone, Vesper at Vespertilio1189, Deadgreed at Deadgreed1812, and me at Shazam081. You can find the show's Facebook page at facebook.com/ShatteredSoulstone, Vespertilio at facebook.com/Vespertilio1189. We would like to extend a huge thank you to Medros of Dawnforge Productions for hosting our Loot Deviant show. You can find more shows of the Dawnforge, www.thedawnforge.com. Thank you for listening. Till next time, from all of us here at the Shattered Soulstone, with over 225 episodes for your listening pleasure.
Dawnforge!